Good morning. You're listening to WNJC 1360, the Eye of the Tiger. Well, today I am riding solo. The Grand Activista Jose Santiago is not here. The Chief is not here. Big Lou, I forgot to pick him up this morning. Hey, oh, Big Lou, sorry about that, dog. Before we get started, I have a great announcement. On November 30th, we will have live in our show none other than George Norcross, the chairman of Cooper Hospital. He will be live with us on studio, and he will be taking phone calls, answering some of your questions and some of your concern and some of your bad accusations, and some of you who blame George Norcross for everything that goes on in Camden. If a dog crosses the street and poops on the corner, George Norcross must have sent them. Come on, guys. Every time that you blame George Norcross for the idiotic decision that the red administration makes or city council, you're giving them a free pass. We elected Mayor Red. We elected city council. We did not elect George Norcross. People responsible are the elected officials, not George Norcross. You do something wrong, it's on you. Mayor Red, you have done a whole lot of things wrong. So we blame you for everything that's gone wrong in Camden. And everything has gone wrong in Camden. And we will talk about Camden later on in our program. But for now, let's talk about my favorite person, the governor, Chris Christie. The governor just announced yesterday that during lame duck, he have some bills to get passed. Number one bill on his agenda, the Opportunity Scholarship Act. I got to give it to this governor. You know, he has set out to balance the budget in New Jersey. He has done that. He has set out to fix education in urban city, public education in urban cities. And he's going to do that. He's coming out, and he on top of the Opportunity Scholarship Act, which is a monumental of a bill that needs to be passed, that excellent education for everyone has been fighting for what, over 7 years now? The architect of this bill is Excellent Education for Everyone, a grassroots nonprofit organization in the state of New Jersey that is first for kids, second for kids, third for kids, and it's all about kids. Excellent Education is not about building schools. They're about building concessions, building a movement, bringing a point that our children are being destroyed. Urban children are being destroyed all across this nation. Now the problem, and I give Peter Dedden, Norm Arthur so much credit. They're there. They've been fighting, and you know, Pete is the man. Pete's the man. But look, the governor is advocating for the Opportunity Scholarship Act. Some people will say, well, this now is a Christie issue. Christie agenda. This is not the Opportunity Scholarship Act. It's not a Christie agenda. It's a moral issue. The Opportunity Scholarship Act addresses the need of the 3 L's. The 3 L's. The least, the lost. I'm getting a Perry moment here. I forgot the other letter. It's the least, the last, and the lost. The least, the last, and the lost. That's what the Opportunity Scholarship Act, the OSA, addresses. Children in Camden are not receiving a quality education. They're not even receiving an education. Let's talk about the Morgan Village school that was just opened. The geniuses and the Camden School District merge performing arts, a great school for the gifted, and merge the performing arts high school with Morgan Village. And now we have all kinds of complaints from teachers these teachers were used to teaching kids who were gifted, teaching kids who were there, who loved music, who loved their arts, and wanted to be there. And that makes it easier for the teacher to teach. Now these teachers are in an environment with kids who don't want to be there, who haven't been taught, who are out of control. And these teachers right now have no idea what to do with these kids, and they are completely frustrated because of the idiotic decision by the school board, by the Camden School Board, to emerge a well-rounded alternative school with a middle school who has been out of control. Just because they built a new building, they thought things were going to be well. No. Let's take this call. We will continue on Morgan Village. I have the Tiger. May I help you?
Yeah, this is Norm Allworth from E3. Angel was seeing if I could call in today, so I'm calling in to try and talk to him.
Norm, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Great you called. I was ecstatic today when I looked at the paper and saw that Christie is one of his number one initiative for the lame duck session is the Opportunity Scholarship Act.
Yeah, it's a great emphasis that the governor's putting on education reform and putting right up top the Opportunity Scholarship Act, which stands to do the most to help the least, as you had just mentioned a few minutes ago on your show. Absolutely,
and I give it to the governor. He has kept his word since he took office. He's there. He has balanced the budget. Now he is on to fix the crisis that are facing these kids that are trapped in these family schools. But my problem with this is that people think that because Christie is now gung-ho on supporting the Opportunity Scholarship Act, that now this is a Christie issue. And Norm, what do you say about that?
Well, it's I think that's short-sighted on the part of people that say that. But let's talk about the facts and some things that have been proven. You know this, Angel, that Florida has had an Opportunity Scholarship Act in place for about 10 years now. And just talk about the basics. Before they put this in place, in 1998, only 53% of Florida's fourth grade students scored basic or better in the skills test. But by 2009, 73% of Florida's fourth graders scored basic or above, which was a remarkable improvement. Now that decade of strong improvement is only one part. Florida's Hispanic students now have the second highest reading scores in the nation when compared to their peers in other states. So this isn't about Chris Christie. This is about helping the kids that need the most help. And Florida has shown the way by putting in a school choice program very similar to the Opportunity Scholarship Act. And the results are in. and no one can deny the improvement that's taken place in Florida, and that's the kind of thing we need in New Jersey.
Absolutely. We have these schools especially in Camden, where you blame the parents, blame society for these kids not learning, not going to school. But you're asking these kids to go into a school, a high school like Camden High or Woodrow Wilson, where there is violence, where there's drugs everywhere, where a teacher has given up on that classroom. And here is this kid who wants to do better, but cannot. He has lost all kinds of interest. Yesterday I had a conversation with a lady who took her kid, who moved to Camden from Cherry Hill, and her child, and put her child in Woodrow Wilson High School. She almost lost the child in 1 year. She moved back to Cherry Hill, put the child back in Cherry Hill Public Schools, and the kids is learning, happy, wants to go to school. I mean, I have kids who are in the elementary schools who don't want to go to school, who are not learning. And when we talk about how difficult it has been to pass the Opportunity Scholarship Act, and I hear the majority of the legislators that don't support this bill are minority legislators, African American and Hispanic legislators, and it just turns my stomach how evil that is when this targets the last, the least, and the lost kids who are trapped in family schools.
And your friend who came into Camden had the ability to leave Camden and go to Cherry Hill, where their student now is thriving. There are thousands of parents and thousands of kids that don't have the ability to move to a different town or to send their child to a private school, or is lucky enough to get into a charter school where they will have an environment where their kid can excel. And the problem that we're seeing right now is you have people that are against this system of giving these kids a chance, who are hypocritically taking their children and putting them in private schools or putting them in different schools where they have the ability to do that, yet their constituents and the people in these cities don't have that ability, and that's a crime.
It is, and we looked at Camden Public Schools, who get $22,900 per child, and you look at Cherry Hill High Schools, who get about $10,000 per child. Cherry Hill has one of the best school districts in the nation, a mile from Camden, and they get 50% less money than we do, and we are the rich kids. But when you go to these schools, you have swimming pools, you have people who cares, you have this beautiful, clean, organized school. And just a mile from there, where the rich kids are, which is Camden, you have bars in the window, cops in the schools, hostile environment, drug dealing. It's a complete nightmare. Pastor Tim and I has said that raising a kid in Camden is a form of child abuse, because that child, everything is stacked up against that child that he is not going to make it. And Norm, I hear that charter schools are popping up in suburban districts, and that sends chill to my spine. That wait a minute, there is a monumental crisis in Camden City, but I hear that charter schools are popping up in suburban districts. That, to me, doesn't sit well.
Well, the governor has the right idea, and there's several people in the legislature that have give it bipartisan support. The OSA's time has come. You were right. This bill has been in the legislature for over 5 years. Various forms have come through. It's been debated. It's been discussed. And if you look at states like Florida, you can point to real results based on parental school choice. And those real results have done not only a service to the children who are allowed to participate in those programs, but those public schools that now have to compete to keep those children in their school realize that they have to produce a better product to create an environment to educate all the kids better than they have been educated, and they're going to be expected to show results.
Absolutely.
So choice works. It's shown that it has worked, and I applaud the governor for getting behind this bill once again and making it a top priority for his education reform agenda. And we look forward here at Excellent Education for Everyone, helping him and helping those legislators and trying to move this bill forward and finally get it passed to give these kids a chance.
There's no other way. This is the time. The OSA has to pass. We continue to hear from the teachers union that and teachers that the OSA takes money from the public schools, and that will hurt the rest of the kids, and also that the Opportunity Scholarship will only help, and they do use the word help, some of the kids.
Well, I like to say a couple things on that. First, the bill does not cost the taxpayers one dime in New Jersey, and that has been rated by the Office of Legislative Services without getting too technical up in Trenton. They are the bipartisan group or nonpartisan group that rates the financial impacts of all the bills that come through the legislature, and the OSA has been rated as revenue neutral. So that's a misrepresentation of the facts if someone says it will take money out of the public schools. And in fact, when the student leaves and takes the amount for the scholarship, there is a significant amount of money that's left behind that doesn't follow with that student. So you have more money for less students remaining in the school district. But most importantly, on your second point, Angel, I like to say if you're a lifeguard and there are 10 children drowning, do you not jump in and save 2 or 3 because you can't save all of them? I think you have to do that, and their argument that you can't save them all is not a valid argument. But more importantly, the OSA is not in the business of destroying public schools. The OSA will improve public schools. As I mentioned before, when children have a choice, when parents have a choice, all of a sudden those public schools have to respond to their customers, who are the parents and the children, and that will happen.
The hypocrisy that surrounds this argument about with the teachers union, that you're not saving all the kids, and at the end of the day, these kids, these same people, won't be cut dead sending their kids to any of these schools. It just won't happen. They know that there is a drastic problem. They know that choice works. They know it has worked in other states. But my problem with this, Norm, is these people will not support this reform that has been proven that it works. But they, at the end of the day, they don't have a plan of themselves to fix this monumental crisis that is destroying children's lives across this nation.
Well, and they're responsible for that system that says, that produces a product that doesn't work. So if you say the OSA won't save all the children, what about the system as it's set up now? All those children that are failing are not being helped, yet these same people are the ones that are responsible for that system. So the question has to be asked back to them, well, what promises are being given and promises are being broken by these children not performing well, by not getting a good education? Why not try something that has been proven to work in other states, that has been proven to work in other districts, that could be used to help save these kids?
Absolutely. This evil teachers union, mafia cartel organization, like in Camden, 80% of Hispanic kids drop out of school. About 65% of African American drop out of school. They rather see these kids drop out of school, get into gang, have a life expectancy of 25 years old, than find some remedy to capture these kids and together find a common ground on how to go and continue to improve the public the public schools, because that is what we are set out to do. We're not set out to give out scholarships to vouchers or scholarships to anybody, to everybody. We want a mechanism that is going to force the public schools to fix themselves, because we've been banking for 40 years now that the schools, the public schools, urban public schools, fix themselves by themselves, and that's not going to happen. The monopoly that's there, the money that's being poured into these districts is enormous, and they're not going to change. At the end of the day, the schools that are failing are urban school districts where African American and Hispanic poor children are. If you can't tell me that is a conspiracy, that is something evil, that you're allowing this to happen, and the Latinos and African American legislators should be taking the lead on this. Instead, they're taking a back seat on how to please the people that are causing this nightmare to our children, Norm. It's unconscionable.
Well, Angel, I think at this point we have an opportunity to do something that can start to change this system. And one thing in the OSA is not going to solve all the problems, but it is a main part of the solution that needs to be implemented and needs to be implemented now. And I applaud the governor for getting out in front on this issue once again and making it a priority, and working with the legislature to try and get it passed so that we can finally start to see some relief for the kids that need it most.
And Nora, how many scholarships? Well, number one, how many cities are involved in the in scholarship on the OSA, and how many scholarship per city?
Well, the final numbers aren't known yet, but certainly Camden City would be part of the program, and the final tally of how many scholarships is yet to be determined. But obviously, the more lives that we can save, the better. So, the approach here is, because it's a revenue neutral bill, any number of scholarships that are produced through the bill are not going to cost the taxpayers a dime. So why not do as many as we can? But over the next month or two, if the bill moves forward, those details will be ironed out, and I'll be sure to call back and let you know.
Awesome. And we having there's a school choice rally December 1st. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, there's a rally on December 1st from 10 till 1 in front of the State House in Trenton. We encourage anyone and everyone to try and get to the rally on December 1st. It is a rally where we're going to have several significant speakers who are supporters of the OSA, and we're going to ask the legislature, who will be in session that day, to pass the OSA finally and give us some results in these urban areas. So it's December 1st at the State House in Trenton. If you have a group of people that want to come, and you can get at least 30 people to go on a bus, call Angel, and he'll coordinate with me to make sure that we can get that bus paid for and get you up to the rally. So if you're hearing this program and you have a group of people from your civic organization or just your neighborhood, and you would like to come up to the rally but don't have a way to get there, and you can get a group of 30 or more people, we'll find out a way to get you there.
Norm, you're the best. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work. Great president of Excellent Education for Everyone, my boss, my mentor, and also a pharmacist. Also,
Thanks, Joel. Take care.
Thank you, Norm. Well, guys, the Opportunity Scholarship is an opportunity for children who are trapped in these prisons we call urban public schools. And if it's suburban people, if you don't think that I'm exaggerating about the prison term, just drive down Federal Street or drive down Park Boulevard. See Camden High. See Hatch Middle School. Go see Woodrow Wilson. Go see Veterans Middle School off of 27th Street. Go down to 7th Street and see Palm Point Middle School. Go to any school in Camden. And you see how this... Now, first of all, you're going to see a bunch of cop cars parking in front of the car, of the school. I mean, look, guys. I have a program called the Community Education Resource Network. And we deal with the worst of the worst. Not the worst of the worst, but people who the school district have given up on. Who used to terrorize the school so-calledly. Who've been expelled from the schools. People who have been out of school for years. And they all come to us. And the day that I have to hire a security guard to come and keep the peace in the CERN program, is the day that I will close that program. No buts about it. And we at the CERN program, we have a remedy. We deal with three things: love, communication, and respect. That is what's not happening in these schools, in these urban schools. I see that in suburban schools. There's respect for the children. There's respect for the parents. There's communication for the parents. There's communication for the kids. And I don't see that in the Camden public schools. I have down with parents. I have little old ladies, grandmoms, and there's a bunch of grandmoms raising their grandsons in Camden. So one time, Miss Sanchez, she about 65 years old, lives across town, had to walk to Woodrow Wilson to fix a problem with her grandchild. Walked 3 times to Woodrow Wilson. All 3 times did not get any service, was pushed around, was made to wait a long time. At the end of the day, didn't get any results whatsoever. She got tired of walking, was very frustrated, called me. I went to the school district with her. In 5 minutes, I will solve Ms. Sanchez's problem. 5 minutes. That, I was embarrassed because that should have been taken care of the very first time that she walked into that school. They should have showed respect. They should have communicated with Miss Sanchez, and they would show her love. And they didn't. And Miss Sanchez had to go back home, frustrated. And this is what happens every day in the Camden public schools. Every single day. It's out of control. And like I was saying, Morgan Village Middle School, they emerged performing arts with Morgan Village. The teachers are going crazy. They don't know how to deal with these kids. And so, not too long ago, there was a brawl in the classroom, about 30 kids. When the fight was over, it was blood everywhere. The teacher, traumatized, wants to quit. I haven't been able to talk to her because I guess, her teacher, her contracts, and they don't talk to me. So guys, Opportunity Scholarship Act is an opportunity for our children. And we have to send a message to the legislators that you need to support this. We need to pass this. It must be a revolution. Let's get this call. The Eye of the Tiger, may I help you?
Yes, Angel.
Mi presidente! Oh my God, this is Martin Perez, the president of the Latino Leadership Alliance. How you doing, mi presidente?
Yeah, good morning. We are okay.
Oh, good. Oh my God. Did you see the headlines today? Christie, number one priority, Opportunity Scholarship Act.
That's right.
It is, I love that guy. Because anybody who supports children is a hero in my book.
We have to make sure that we support this effort to pass that legislation. It's important that the whole community, all the leadership of the Latinos get involved in this.
Absolutely. And how do we do that, Martin? Because it seems to me that the Latino community in the state of New Jersey is either don't know anything about this, don't care about this. The Hispanic legislators are like, not nonchalant on the issue, not supporting it. What can we do? How can we change it? Because we only have a window of opportunity right now to get this passed in lame duck.
Well, I think that we have to recognize that the Fuentes from Camden has been in the forefront of this legislation, so which we are very grateful, and we have recognized his effort. So what we have to make sure is that other legislators follow his footsteps and support him because he's one of the sponsors. So that's what we have to do. We have to put pressure on every legislature, not just the Latinos, but every legislator.
Yeah, and I say Latino because that's who I am, and the vast majority of kids in New Jersey that are trapped in these prisons we call public schools are Latino. But African Americans are in the same boat, and again, African American legislators are not supporting this, and that is because they support the teachers union, and I have said it, and I continue to say it, Martin. They have betrayed the dream by supporting the teachers union rather than these children that are trapped in these schools and these prisons we call schools. And they have betrayed the dream. They have betrayed the dream. The Opportunity Scholarship Act supports the least, the last, and the lost. And that's what this is made for. This is not about rich kids. This is about throwing a lifeline to children who are trapped in these schools, who are going to be sentenced to a life of poverty, and society have to pay for it. Martin?
This is about the future of not just of the Latino community, but the future of the state of New Jersey and in the future of the country. We want to keep being one of the most powerful countries in the world. We have to educate our children. That's about it. There's no other choice.
Absolutely. So, Martina, what is the Latino leadership working on? How can we help? And what bring you around? Tell me something.
Well, we are working in first of all, we are working hard in pushing and advocating for this the passage of this Opportunity Scholarship Act, which is a priority for us. The other issue that we are pushing is for healthcare reform, and we just created a Latino Health Institute. We had a conference last month, on the 22nd.
Yes.
Just put together an institute. Pretty soon we're going to have a website which we're going to publish all the documents that we presented in the conference.
Awesome. And Martin, question for you. Does the governor supporting and pushing the Opportunity Scholarship Act as its prime agenda hurts or helps the bill?
I cannot. I didn't follow you.
Does the governor supporting the Opportunity Scholarship, does that hurt the bill with the Democrats? Because it makes it, if the governor comes out, it's like a Republican issue. It's a Governor Christie's issue. Does that hurt?
No, this is not a partisan issue, and I think that it's important that the governor put his effort and his power behind this effort, because he's the leader of the state. He's the governor, so he's very powerful, and I'm really very grateful that he supports this bill. It's important he supports it, and he now what we have to make sure is that the Democratic Party understand that this is not a partisan issue and join the governor in this effort.
Our problem with this bill has been one person, and that's Speaker Oliver. Why you think that the Speaker Oliver is so opposed to the Opportunity Scholarship?
Well, she said that she will support it with certain assurances, like the limit of the numbers of districts and students affected. She wants to limit the coverage of the act, of the law. But that's in negotiations. I imagine that all the legislators, both parties and both everybody who's supporting it are in intense negotiation. So we hope that I understand that politics is out of the possible, but I hope that they come up with a good agreement that benefits the community.
Yeah. And Martin, we right now the Hispanic community is a little bit over 14% of the population in New Jersey, right? And the vast majority of Latino are in these failing schools. Why is it that the Hispanic caucus has not come out in support of this bill?
Well, that's a good question that we have to ask each one of our legislators, and I think that we have to question the meet and discuss with the Hispanic caucus in the legislature.
Who is the president or the chairman of the Hispanic caucus?
The chairman of the caucus now was just elected to the Senate. It's Nellie Poe.
Nellie Poe. And what district does she represent?
She's in District 35 in Passaic.
Passaic?
Yes.
And Passaic, isn't Passaic like 85% or 80% Hispanic?
Yeah.
Isn't the Passaic?
Patterson, New Jersey, and Passaic, the city of Passaic, and in that county. So, and you know that overwhelming majority are Latinos. So it's about time that we support that bill, and all the legislators in that county should support it.
Yeah, because
not just Nellie Poe, but the two assemblymen, which by the way are African American. And the two assemblymen that were elected with Nellie Poe, Senator Poe, now are African American. So there are three minorities elected in that county.
So but the school districts in Patterson are one of the worst, close to what the numbers are for Camden. Is that correct, Martin?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's in the school system clearly in bad shape. And we hope that this passes. And I think that the thing is that we have to eliminate this, try to take this out of the partisan politics, which is the something that is regretful. People trying to politicize that, and that's what the teachers union has been very successful in doing. But we have to take it out of the partisan bickering and talk about the children.
And I believe it starts with Chairman Nelly Pope, the president of the Latino Caucus, coming out in support of this, and also getting Patterson in the bill. Is Patterson in the Opportunity Scholarship Act now, or is not?
Well, she's Senator Pope, she's now an assembly person. She has said in the past that she would like to see the Patterson included in the bill, but she hasn't made a clear commitment to support the bill, which is a little bit strange. But we hope that she make a final decision and support the bill.
In other words, she wants Patterson in it, but she is not sure if she's going to vote for the bill.
That's my understanding. That is her position now, but I hope that she change in this process.
And I also heard that Senator Pope won by 70% of the votes. Is that correct?
Something like that, yeah.
So the people came out and supported this woman because they believe in this woman. They believe now in the senator that they are going to do for her. So our message needs to say is, Senator, the people is counting on you. Now you have to deliver. And
that's right. We have to keep calling we have to make a campaign in calling her office and calling the office of every senator and every assemblyman. And that's the best thing we can do. Make a campaign of phone calls. Every day people should be calling the offices of these senators and assemblymen.
And Martin, when are you going to become a senator? When is my great friend Martin Perez is going to run for mayor of New Brunswick or district senator or state senator? Because you have been out there on the issues forever and always on the right side of justice. Any aspiration of being a great politician that you will be?
Well, sometimes I'm more effective without being a politician, because what I am is an advocate, and I think that sometimes you can be more effective if you are not a politician. So to this point, I just want to continue being an advocate, and I think that that's my job.
Well, I will support you.
And my commitment.
I will support you as a politician, and the whole entire community, Latino community, will do so, as well as the African American and also white, Asian. Everybody will support you because you're a man that all your life has fought in the side of justice. One more thing, Martin. The governor had announced that he was going to be appointed to the Rutgers Governor's Board. Is that correct?
Well, has been appointed to the Board of Governors on the Rutgers University, and the appointment is pending in the Judiciary Committee of the Senate.
When is that going to be heard? Because I think that's a monumental appointment for you.
So I don't know. The Judiciary Committee has to put it for a vote, and the local senators have to make sure that sign on it, because the local senator has judiciary the ability to stop the appointment if they don't sign on it.
What can we do to help that process?
Well, in the senatorial courtesy, it's a historical practice in which the local senators nothing is discussed in the Judiciary Committee until the local senators sign on the appointment. So we waited for that. We hopefully is discussed in the next section.
And you will be, when that happens, I'm not saying if, because you are extremely qualified for the position, but when this happens, you will be the first Latino in that board, right?
Well, I am not sure of that. My understanding is that in the past there was another person in the board of governors, but both has been appointed by the Republican Party. Never Democratic Party has appointed anybody.
Well, you know, the Democrats are for the poor. They, you know, I have a saying, Martin, that Republicans don't care about the poor, and Democrats abuse us. So, you know, the best of two worlds, we are in the middle. And I hope that changes. The Republicans continue to pay attention to us, because the Latino community is a major force here in New Jersey and in the United States. By the year 2040, we have grown to 150 million strong. That is a number. That is incredible. So we are not going anywhere. We're just increasing. We're the youngest and fastest growing community in this nation. And you're going to have to pay attention to us. Our movement should be, everybody go out and vote. I don't care who you vote for. Come out and vote, and let's show our strengths. Right, Martin?
Yes, and the thing that also that the state has to put attention is that the Latino community is not just growing in numbers. We are now 18% of the population, but also our purchasing power duplicates every 10 years. In 1990, the purchasing power was about $10 billion. In the year 2000, it was $20 billion. And now we have a purchasing power in New Jersey of about $45 billion. So this is a lot of money that we move and that we contribute to the economy of the state. When we purchase things, we not only purchase tortillas, we purchase cars, we purchase computers, we purchase everything, and when we purchase something, somebody gets a job. So people have to pay attention.
Absolutely. Martin, I wanted to ask you about the Obama administration, that they have catastrophic numbers on deportation. What do you have to say about that?
Well, it's really something that is making the community upset, because we voted and we supported Obama based on the commitment he made to us that he was going to deal with immigration reform and other reforms. And it's something that had our community upset. Hopefully he's come back and, fulfill his commitment.
I was very upset with, and I supported Barack. I was really extremely upset with him when he got into office. The first act that he did was struck down the Opportunity Scholarship in Washington, D.C. That was a sign, a bad sign that he had sent to us down here. And, he did that, and then, he has not followed up with immigration. And again, we talked about George W. Bush, but at least George was supporting immigration. He was for helping this crisis that we have in immigration. But Barack has not, and major concern for me.
Yes, it's a concern of all the Latino community, and not just the Latinos, but all the immigrants in the country.
Yeah, and look, and
most of the people that are being expelled of the country are Latinos. and this is just unacceptable. So we have to fight for this, and we hope that before we vote for him next time, that he has to make a clear commitment and clear, not just a commitment, but do something about it.
Absolutely, and that's why I was excited that Chris Christie was thinking about running for president. I would have supported Chris Christie hands down, and I had no beef about that because he's a great man and he does what he says and says what he does.
Yeah.
But you know, the Republican side, the only person close to supporting immigration is Rick Perry. And you can't hold him because he might forget about it. He forget things.
But this is the problem, that the candidates, the Republican candidates, one wants to put electricity in a fence with electricity, and the other ones want to put two fences, which is outrageous. And this is type of language that they're using and trying to scare people with the issue of immigration, which is incredible that people can be, so
evil. Evil is the word, okay? It is the Republican. To me, it's a problem. The only Republican I would have supported would have been Chris Christie, but now I don't even have that opportunity because and Rick Perry scares me because he can't even remember his name sometimes. So with that, Martin, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Hope to see you more often here, and let us know what we can do for you because I want you in the Governor's Board, Rutgers Governor's Board of Governors.
Thank you, and I would like to congratulate you with your new program. Now, I think it's going to be a very important program, not just for the Latino community, but all the community in the South Jersey. So, congratulations, my friend.
I appreciate it, Martin. Take care.
Bye.
That was my president, Martin Perez. Now, you also can listen to us at fixcamden.com. Fixcamden.com. The shows are pre-recorded. You can listen to it as many times as you want. Send it to your friends, and and we will be doing more in our website coming out. What is happening? What is happening with Camden? Oh my God! The murder rate is going up the roof again. Crime is out of control. What the heck is happening in Camden all over again? When the Quintana polls come out, I would bet you that Camden City will be number one again. Number one murder rate, murder capital of the nation. It has to be. It was last week, five homicides? Just the other day, North Camden, someone got killed. I mean, it's like a normal thing now. But look, the other day, I got up in the morning to take my daughter to school. Got up, felt good, took my little girl's hand, and got in the car and moved and left to take her about 5 minutes from my house, probably less. It took me 45 minutes, and it usually takes me about 4 or 5 minutes. 45 minutes to get to my little girl's school. She was late. When I got back home, I was raging mad. Traffic in the city of Camden is out of control. You can't get through. You either have MS paramedic going wild with their flashlights, with flashing lights. You have PSNG putting poles up. You have Camden High Bridge closed. You got North Camden High Bridge State Street Bridge closed. Traffic is everywhere. The only thing you don't see is cops. You don't see cops. Traffic everywhere. I mean, it was a nightmare getting to the school. It is how can Camden police do their job if they can't get to this crime scene? Why are you going to close State Street Bridge when you haven't even started repair on the Camden High Bridge? Have not even started repair on it. It is closed. Been closed. This is a disaster. The city of Camden is continuing. I thought that we hit bottom. Well, now we're hitting underground. It is insane what's going on in Camden. Camden police, if you get in an accident in Camden, don't call the cops. They're not going to show up. There is major problems in our city right now. And I don't know if the Red administration has noticed that we are in chaos or don't care, but something needs to be done. There is no jobs. I think yesterday, 19% unemployment. Well, guess what? 19% 2 years ago. Still 19%. They say 19%, but it's more like 30% unemployment rate. Our kids are not getting an education. Our kids are roaming the streets of Camden like what the movie from Walking Dead, Night of the Living Dead. Our kids no job, can't get a driver's license, can't get a job, have to deal with the drug dealers. That's how they get their money. No one is paying attention. We have 455 churches, and I don't see one pastor on the floor on the streets. I don't see one pastor outrage. I don't see one politician outrage. I don't see the mayor outrage. 5 murders last week. Business as usual. Our children completely no education, everything. Business as usual. 2 bridges closed in Camden. Business as usual. What the heck is going on? Do people care? I was in front of City Hall for like 16 weeks, protesting for the reduction or the reassessment of property value of properties in Camden, where people are going to lose their homes. And you could add to that list people losing their home because they can't pay their outrageous property taxes that the mayor knew about it 6 months ago before we even got one bill, and she was trying to put a levy increase of 23%. Lucky we stopped her, and it went up 4%. But I was there in front of City Hall for 16 weeks, non-stop. And the first time, 300 people showed up. Second time, 150. After that, it kept decreasing. People didn't come out. If we would have put 1,000 people in the streets, there would have been change in Camden. But people right now in Camden have given up.